mind. And this is where my people draw the line. We come up, we gonna become a paradise. Where there's no envy or greed. Paradise. That was what me wants and me needs. Paradise. Where you fall like hail from the sky. Yeah. Paradise. Where there's no envy or greed. Paradise. Jah fulfill me wants and me needs. Paradise. Where you fall like hail from the sky. Yeah. Well, I know you from your son, because you have to pay hold down, you know me, I say? Yeah. Call up on King Selassie, I name it there, move along, yeah. Yeah, we roll with the punches, yeah. Papi's a roll with the punches, Frontage a roll with the punches. Yeah. This is something I want you to stick in the back of your mind every time. Here's where the pressure starts, and where the pressure lies. So find paradise, no? In your mind, no? In your step, no? Paradise, where there's no envy or greed. Paradise, where you fulfill your wants and your needs. Paradise, where you fall like hail from the sky. Come a paradise, where there's no envy or greed.
Boy, you know me? And about this year, your mother grow me. No. Give me some bass when me sing something first. Me go so. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. Oh na 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 na. It's all about Romy and the big fat sister Naomi. You do them claims and them know me. And them argument show me. The boy that name Romy and the warring sister Naomi. You do them claims and them know me. And them argument show me. What me wonder Romy, how him fi know me? I want to house me man and get to me go live right and see it and grow me. What the boy owe me, him argument show me. Him girl want blow me to tears and me blow me. Me here now you me, a 1590. Me check it out, lead them to the grandma heart. Me so I grudge the boy grudge me, the boy bad mind me. That's why me argument jump and I'll roll me. And the big fat sister Naomi. Me do all them claims and them know me. And them argument show me. That boy their name Romy. And the big fat sister Naomi. Me do all them claims and them know me. And them argument me say Miss Naomi. One big fat girl from the 1920. If looks so long, she never do 'cause she plenty. I come and tell plenty, I love like empty. He bring up here, now you only a who run up for a preacher. I get paid for Sunday, get a rich from broker. Show me how my dog go take this step further. That's all it needs to know. Romy, and the big fat sister Naomi. You know them claims and them know me. And them arguments draw me. That boy their name Romy. And the warring sister Naomi. You know them claims and them know me. And them arguments draw me. From the girlfriend I pop, her life brighter. Now you get touch spider, now you get touch snake and a grassy a viper. Y'all touch sniper, big time farmer. She all a girl beat a send y'all a lana. Gang get man, so me down a Manchester. One the youth man I him a chance murder. Y'all get serious.
Slow traffic.
Was good. So I'm handling some business. What's up, Snap Turtle? In the building. Snap Turtle. They call me that because I snap on fools. Snap, nigga. Oh man, I'm a plumb idiot. Yeah. It's good. Boom, boom. With the blood clot. You hear me? Was good. Acting a little bit of a fool before I get into the topic. I got lots of them. I got so much information to share, so much point of views, so many point of views to share about different things, you know, and I don't want to miss a beat. I don't want to forget because my memory is going, you know. too much antiperspirant going up. You know, all the aluminum getting to my head. I'm trying to get it out. You know, to fix it before I get old timers. You know, turning to old timers and can't remember shit. Anyway, what's good? So, there's no secret, right, that the others like to use the police as weapons against us, right? So many times have people called the police on suspicious looking Negroes in their neighborhood. So many times. And then so many times that Negro ends up getting killed unarmed by the police. So, you know, this happened in Pasadena a couple years ago. Pasadena, California. A black man was walking down the street. One of the other people called the police and said he had a gun, pointed at everybody, walking down the street with a gun out. Police roll right up, pop him. Don't even ask questions, none of that. Just roll up and pop him. Happened to Tamir Rice and all the things like that. There's no shame in it, you know? Now they're calling the police on us on camera. The person they're calling the police on is recording them. And they don't care because they know that the police are going to be on their side no matter what. So, essentially, the police are weapons for them. You know? So, why did I bring this up? Because I'm looking in my feed for the, you know, one of them books or grams or twatters.
Slow traffic.
And this young woman is attending a university where she's paying tuition. All right, San Antonio, University of San Antonio. All right, she's paying tuition. She's going to these boring ass lectures. She wants to be comfortable, so she has her feet on the back of the chair. Now, mind you, I attended some college, and these chairs can be really uncomfortable, and you have to sit there for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, however many units it calls for. And so this young woman decided that she wanted to put her foot on the back of the seat. She's not violating anyone. I mean, you know, hell, it's a classroom. It's not a freaking ball. It's not somebody's house. You know, you can look at it however you like to look at it. You think it's rude, you think it's disrespectful, you think it's not polite, you think it's unbecoming of a young woman. I don't give a fuck what you think about that, all right? She's in the classroom in an auditorium watching some boring-ass teacher talk about bullshit, trying to brainwash her with her academia, all right? You know? So, what does this teacher do? Or professor, or whatever she is? You know, professor nothing but bullshit. So let's say a professor, she has a PhD of bullshit, all right? No matter what it is, because whatever she's teaching, whatever her job is, whatever it calls for, whatever she's doing it for, it goes out the window because you're calling the police on a young woman who's doing nothing wrong. But she's only doing something wrong in your opinion because you don't want her your feet on the back of a seat. So you call the police on her. You don't write her up. You don't, you know, you can write her up. Write her up to the dean. But you know the dean ain't gonna do shit because it's a bullshit ass complaint. So you decided that you wanted to take a Negro out that day.
On the road.
Now, what if these police officers were trigger happy? What if they decided to pull out a gun because, I don't know, these motherfuckers kill you for any goddamn reason. But the young woman got up and calmly walked out of the classroom with the po-po. Two big-ass, burly other police officers from the campus, I guess. So, what the fuck? It's so easy for them to call the police on us for any goddamn reason. Oh, this kid touched my butt. But, you know, it was not the kid himself. It was the bag he was holding. barely graze your little pancake ass. So you call the police. I mean, come on, man. Kids enjoying themselves at a park, you call the police. This is not your fucking land. If they want to fucking play at the park, they have every fucking right. I don't give a fuck if it's 90% white neighborhood and it's a park. It's a public park. It belongs to the city. And the city cannot restrict entry into the park because you fucking black. You know, it's bullshit. They should not, you know, once that person is freed, because you have nothing on them, you're arresting them for what? Because you want to satisfy this other motherfucker's sensibilities. Listen, man, I'm not racist. All right, there are good others out there. They're good. There are good others out there. Their voice is just hampered by the bullshit, and they get caught up in this left-right paradigm, which really what they're fighting is the left-right paradigm. That's what they're fighting. And they're not making any progress because the focus is on the paradigm, this dichotomy that's so fucking false. It's a false dichotomy. Left-right? Come on, man. And they don't even hide the fact that it belongs to the same body. Listen, it may matter in some instances, but it's ultimately the same government. The key is legislative branch, executive branch, and the judicial branch. That's where the checks and balances come from. They don't come from two sides of the legislative branch. You make change within the judicial branch and the executive branch if you want some shit to change in the legislative branch, because the legislative branch is the branch that creates the laws, and they have lobbyists up their ass all day trying to get them to pass what they need them to pass for their special interest group. The police unions are special interest groups. The laborers union is a special interest group. The electricians union is a special interest group. We need a group. We need a special interest group, and we need our own motherfucking party. Because when we hop on the Democratic bandwagon because it's the lesser of two evils, you're a fucking idiot. All right? If you do that for that reason, you're an idiot. How about no evil? Not the lesser. Listen, let me tell you something. It's not the lesser of two evils. It's different evils of equal evilness. All right? They both equally evil. They just show it differently. They do different evil shit. We need to wake the fuck up. So, but one good thing is, this professor that pulled that bullshit got suspended or whatever. But, you know, she has tenure, so you got to go through all that shit, and who knows what's going to happen, if she's going to lose her job or whatever. And they said they were looking into making changes to the policies. You shouldn't be able to call the cops on someone for any fucking reason. And if you do, and it's found that the person did nothing wrong, your ass need to get locked up for filing a false police report. This shit has to stop. So that's the type of shit that we need to get done. All right, we need to take our power back. We have the power. All right, even though this is a democratic republic and not a strict democracy, we still have the power. We still have the power to create parties that will do for us. So this is the thing, right? You got these two branches. You got left and right wing. Parties on both wings. All right, going down the line. Let's say there's a line here. The parties sit on those wings. There's a line. So each. All right, we need to create a new line, because the ones that are on this line They don't represent us. All right. So, in order to make change for us, right? For us,
In half
we
of a
want some
mile,
great
right
representation.
turn onto Pacific
Then we need
Boulevard.
to go and create our own party that we're beholden to, that keeps our values. Because right now, those young black people, those young women of melanation that got seats in the Congress, they're on the Democratic side, so they have to toe the party line. Okay, they can bring forth agendas, but they're going to get shot down 9 times out of 10. But we'll see. We'll give them a chance, right? Let's give them a shot. I would love that for changes to come. But what are their agendas? Do we know? We voted these people in. Do we know if they're going to work for us, make changes for us? You know, there are hundreds of Congress people. You know, you need so many votes to get shit done. So we got our few people, right? It's not enough. They have to convince the other Congress people to hop on their side. They have to convince the majority. All right. So let's get that straight. So they can be in there doing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, they'll be more
Right
able
turn
to
ahead.
create change in their districts, you know, within their particular states. But we need somebody to represent us on a broader scale. So hopefully these young women and young men can come together and go for it. Or they need to split off, right? Split off. You can do that. Split off and create their own party. That's what they should be doing. Create a party for us. Because we deserve it. We need representation. We were here first. We were here before the others showed up. Yeah, we were. Yeah. So that young lady, she paying her tuition, and she got pulled out of class. Bullshit. I call it. Hello, bullshit. I got some bullshit for you. You know? That's what's up. So, I urge you, because I didn't vote Democrat, because I was like, what the fuck have they done? So listen, you know how they tell you, if you vote for a different party, then you're going to split the vote.
Avalon Boulevard.
I don't care. So let's split the vote. I don't care, because I don't want neither one of I don't want the Democrats or the Republicans to win. So whoever loses, I don't give a fuck. So let's split the vote. You want me to vote Democrat to not split the vote and take it away from you, huh? But I don't want no Democratic bullshit going on. I don't want the Democrats, because they don't represent democracy. Let's get that straight. They don't necessarily represent democracy. You know? So if I want to split the vote, because I feel like the more silent evil is the most dangerous, and I feel like the Democrats' evil is more silent and more deadly, then I don't give a fuck if they don't win because I split the vote, or if people like me split the vote.
1/2 of a mile ahead on the route.
And then if you want to shame people for not voting, well, what if they don't want to vote for either party? What if they don't want to vote for any of the legislation that's up there because they don't believe in any of that shit? They don't feel like those measures and those bills are going to do anything for them if they vote yay or nay. So they don't want to vote. If they feel like they vote don't count, you can't tell them that they can't ask for change if they're not voting, or they can't, oh, if you ain't voting, oh, you can't talk shit. The fuck I can't. You know why? Because for over 270 years, people were able to vote, and people been voting for 270 some years. And shit's still fucked up. All right? Not everyone's going to vote. Not everyone wants to vote. Not everyone feels like voting is going to do anything. And so they have every right to feel that way, and then they can not vote and be okay because they grown. You know, in some countries, and in the European Union, they have a parliamentary government, which means that there isn't just two branches, right, that could have influence in the government. There could be a good number of
Slow traffic.
different parties that are in baseline percentage that you have to get above. Then you have representation, so it could be like 5 or 6 branches or 5 or 6 parties in that as long as they have a vote of 5% or more or something like that. And there, of course, there's a majority party, but they still have to, everyone has to be heard. Not just people in 2 parties. People don't have to jump to this party because it kind of lines with their way of thinking. No, they can go with the party that goes with exactly what their thinking is, as long as they're in the parliament. So your voice will be heard a little bit more. If they don't have the majority, you know, sometimes you have to go to the other parties, people in the other parties, to get on your side. But at least there's a little bit more representation going on there. That's more in line with making sure people get represented. Everyone. Not just liberals and conservatives. All right? Because this is why we're in the state we're in as melanated folk in this country. You know, that Dakota pipeline, that shit should not have been able to be put in. You know, the people spoke. The people that live in that area spoke up. They said, we don't want it here. All right? And that should have deaded that shit. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. I'm diverging and all that shit. Sometimes it happens. What I'm saying is that young woman, if we had better representation in our government, that would not have happened to her. The others should not feel comfortable calling the police on us for farting in the elevator. They should not feel comfortable with being able to do that. That needs to change. Their ability to call the police on us and have the PO running down on us and murdering us, they should not have that ability or power. You know, that's the issue. And I sometimes I have to just talk about these things when they come to my head, because it's so frustrating. Every day there's something new. And it's good. It's good that we can find out what's going on in the world, because that's what social media brings to us. That's what, you know what I mean? So we can see where they're fucking us. And, you know, just like today, I mean, it's so many things. And melanated people are not the only oppressed people, right? You know, many of us are oppressed. Even some of the others are oppressed. And you can
Next
tell
right,
that
and then left
by the
turn.
way the people of California are under attack. Yeah. People in California are under attack by geoengineering, wildfires, droughts that are manufactured. You know, we have hundreds of dams in this state, and they use those dams to diverge water, much needed water from the cities. Listen, I know. And then you have the police. Man, it's just a shame because we should be able to move about freely. We should be able to pay our tuition to go get an education without being concerned about the police running
Proceed
down.
about
Like, come
1
on, man.
mile
Like, people calling the
to
police on us for
South
bullshit.
Vermont
Everything.
Avenue.
But
Slow traffic.
when I was attending this class, this algebra class, the professor was hella cool, and he got much respect from me when one day, one of the young men, a young brother, you know, I'm in my late 30s, and I'm attending college with all these little 18, 19, 20-year-olds, so it's kind of weird, you know. But there's a young man, young brother, young melanated man, who apparently was going through a nervous breakdown and started flipping out in the classroom. And everyone was freaking out. Everyone was freaking out. And I was the only one who approached this young man to calm him down, to grab a hold of him and say, hey, man, what's going on? Calm down.
Slow
you know.
traffic.
And in that way, I was essentially protecting the other classmates because they were scared. They were afraid, you know. Me, I'm a vet, you know, a U.S. Army vet, infantryman, you know. So I had a little bit of training in calming people down. And I'll get to that, too. I'll get to that, too, about the difference between military police and runaway slave patrol. I mean, civilian police. So I'm calming this guy down, and I'm asking him, like, what's going on? You know, do you need me to call somebody? Because I could recognize that he was having a mental break, an emotional break. I recognized it. But everyone else, my bad, somebody calling me. Everyone else was freaking out because this kid's going, he's standing up, he's clenching his fist, he's real tense, and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs out of nowhere. But I approached him and I calmed him down, and the professor, he approached and calmed him down to help me. He came up and said what's going on, and somebody said, call the police. And the professor, a white dude from Oregon, a straight nerd, but hella cool nerd, like a backpack rapper listening type dude, said, nah, don't call the police. That's what he said. No, don't do it. Don't call them po. That's what he said. He said, no, do not call the police. So me and the professor, we walked this kid out, and I called his mom, and his mom understood that he had some mental issues.
Slow traffic.
And I thanked the professor for telling them not to call the police and for handling it like a G. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, hey, man, you know, it's all good. I know what's up. And, you know, this white dude, man. The white dude just surprised the shit out of me. I thought he'd be the first to say, call the police, because let's face it, I mean, that's what they want to do. But this guy did not. And thank God he didn't, because we all know how the police handles black people going through mental breaks. They just pop them, kill them, you know? Or if your patient, you're black and your patient having a mental break and you're trying to calm them down, they'll shoot you instead.
Oh,
motherfuckers. Anyway, so you know, it's a lot of shit has to change. Let me tell you something. I wasn't an MP. I was not an MP. I was infantry. But if you want to know a good example of how one should police their neighborhood, look no further than the MPs, because they are trained to protect the soldiers from each other and from other people. So they're trained to actually calm down the situation. They're not trained to just pull out your gun when you're afraid and start putting holes in people. They're not trained that way. But they are trained
In
to
half of a mile, right
calm the
turn
situation.
onto
They're trained
South Vermont Avenue.
to protect the people. That's their job. People and MPs used to get a lot of shit, but they're trained to take that shit. They're trained to take shit from
Left turn
infantrymen like me, from special forces people, from rangers and gung ho motherfuckers that think they shit don't stink. So one day, I'm almost on my way out. I'm almost ETSing, and you know, I'm married, and me and my wife are going through things. We're essentially separated at the time. Now this was like 14 years ago. All right, I've grown since then. So we're there, separated, and I go to my club on Post, you know, that I
Proceed
frequented,
about 2
right?
miles to
And
South
this was
Van
like
Ness Avenue.
my little stomping grounds, you know, before I was married. And, you know, I'm getting tipsy, super drunk, and I see that my wife is there, but then I also got bodies all in the club. So, you know, that was kind of an issue. So my bodies are there. Some of them are, you know, coming to me, hanging on me, and they know that I'm single again. They know, well, not single. They know I'm separated now, and, you know, essentially back on the market. So, but out of respect for my wife, I said, nah, get away from me. Even drunk, right? No, you go over there. I'll talk to you later. You know? And then I look up and I see my wife dancing on somebody, shaking her ass all up on his crotch. I was not having it. I went down there to the dance floor, pulled her ass off. I was like, look, you know how many bodies I had to push off me tonight out of respect for you? And you in here dancing on some other dude in my club, in front of my people, you know, in front of my homies and all that. Just ego tripping out. So I'm talking to her. I pulled her off this dude. You know, I didn't even pay attention to him. Like, you know, check your girl, not the dude, right? But this nigga gonna run up on me and grab me by the shoulder and pull me away. So out of natural instinct, that elbow came up as I was turning. Boop, boop, boop. Anyway, long story short, I started flipping out, kicking over chairs and tables and trash cans, just pissed off that she just felt like she could disrespect me like that. Never laid a hand on her. That's why I don't do that. Yeah, so got this text message. Oh, good news. Great man. Bumbleclot. Anyway, don't mind me. Anyway, so I get taken out by security. They call the MPs on me. Now,
Proceed about 7/10 of a mile to
I'm a big black dude. I was in much better shape. I was all cut up and, you know,
on the route.
a lot more,
Slow traffic.
you know, a little more cut up and in shape than this. You know, a little bit more intimidating, I think.
In half of a mile.
But the
left
MP
turn
showed up.
onto West Vernon Avenue.
And The first thing they tried to do was calm me down, you know, but I wasn't having it. And they were like, you got to leave. You know, they weren't even going to arrest me. So I was like, okay, I'm leaving. And then I walk away like a few steps. And then I turn around and I try to run back in the club. And that's when they had to take me and bring me down, right? And bring me down to the ground and handcuff me. And they took my ass to the drunk take at the in the brig. And I had to sit in there for like 8 hours. And I'm crying my eyes out like a little bitch, even though I just got through elbowing some dude, you know. And yeah, my CO came. It was like, man, what you doing, man? You almost out. Why you fucking around? So I didn't even get charges pressed against me, you know. But the point is, if those were civilian cops, I wouldn't be alive right now.
9/10 of a mile to
You know,
your destination.
I was aggressive. I ran my ass back, tried to run my ass back in there. I resisted arrest a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I did not go down easy. It took like 6 MPs to get my drunk ass down on the ground. All right? But I made it safe. They didn't even throw me in cell. They threw me in the drunk tank. I didn't throw up or nothing like that. I wasn't in danger of that, but they put my ass in there. The point is, these cops, these MPs are not trained to fear the people they're sworn to protect. Unlike civilian cops. Civilian cops, they're trained to treat us like the goddamn enemy. And that's why if you're an MP and you get out of the Army or the military and you try to get a job as a police officer, they don't want you, because your training is different. You're trained to protect the people. They're trained to protect the property. All right? They're trained to clean up after a mess, after a crime. They're reactionary. You know, and MPs for the most part are too. But it's a whole different ballgame. And you have to understand, if you do the research, you will see how many police officers used to be military. They used to be infantry, because infantry train
In
to
a
kill
quarter of a
the
mile,
enemy.
Your destination is ahead.
When we go out, they send us out to the shit, and we're infantry. We see the enemy, we pop them during wartime. It has to be wartime, right? There's different, rules of engagement.
Is ahead.
And that's what the police departments want. They want someone who's gonna look at us like the enemy. And then when they see us, they kill us. That's how they're trained. So they send.
You have arrived at your destination.
They send these
Your
cops.
license is now finished.
They send these cops. You know, they send folks from 50 miles away from the neighborhood to police us. You're going into a foreign land to face the enemy. Okay? And then the others that see us enjoying ourselves or see us trying to be comfortable, they're the commander. All right? They're the commander of that platoon. And they call that police infantry. And they send them out to kill us. They send them out to harm us, to harass us, to arrest us for bullshit. So that's pretty much what I wanted to touch on today. I feel like I've done enough living. Oh, look, I have a viewer. Wow, it's the first time. Well, second time. I had a couple people in the chat earlier, and Anyway, I'm just here to put out information and give a different perspective, and help people think a little bit more deeply into things, because this world is out to get us. When I say world, I don't mean the earth. I mean the new world order that's coming about. So with that being said, peace.